Welcome to another video tutorial brought to you by ThinkBright. Today we're going to set up a Trixbox server using ThinkBright carrier settings. With these settings from ThinkBright, your server will be able to make and receive phone calls to and from the outside world. Let's begin by changing the URL of your Trixbox server from /user to /admin after the IP address of your Trixbox. It will bring us to the PBX main settings page, and under the setup tab, let's go to the trunk section. Now let's go ahead and create an IAX2 trunk by clicking the Add IAX2 Trunk link. We're going to go ahead and begin by wiping out the information under peer details and user details that pop up by default. On this page, we're only going to enter in two sets of settings, trunk name and peer details. This information would have been provided to you by ThinkBright. So let's go ahead and just paste in or type in the settings that were provided. And as you can see here, we have our trunk name, we have our peer details, and we're going to scroll down and hit Submit Changes. Now you'll notice on the right hand side that the trunk IAX2 has been created, and this will be the trunk that we're going to want to send all of our calls through to make an outgoing call. Next, we're going to go ahead and create an outbound route. Now an outbound route is going to be necessary because we have to match up those digits that you enter into the phone and make sure it matches a certain pattern and then send it out under the appropriate trunk. So let's start off by creating a domestic route. So we're going to go to route name and we're going to type in domestic. And then under dial pattern, we're going to need to find ourselves a domestic dial pattern. To make things easier, we're going to choose this from our dial patterns wizards dropdown. So let's choose long distance. Now, this is a perfect dial pattern for domestic calls with 1 plus the 10-digit number. The problem is that some of you might go ahead and make a phone call without the 1. So in order to account for this, you're going to go ahead and copy up till the 1 and paste it right below. And now you'll see we'll have two patterns here that account for people who are going to call with the 1 and without the 1. Now we have to choose what trunk we're going to use. So we're going to select the trunk that we created earlier and hit Submit Changes. Now we're going to go ahead and proceed in creating an international trunk, an international route, I'm sorry. And here we go. So we create an international route under route name, and under dial pattern, we're not going to choose this time from the dial patterns wizard. We're going to just create something a little simpler, and we're going to do 011 and period. What this means is that anybody who enters in something with 011 and then whatever number after that goes ahead and sends the call to this trunk below, which is our ThinkBright trunk. And this will account for international calls because, as you know, when we make an international call, we usually start off with 011 and then the number. Now, in order to prevent too many people from abusing the international calls or to give only special permission to executives, you can actually go ahead and secure this a little bit further by entering in a route password. Now, a route password will become useful if you, like I said, want to block the international usage on your account. So go ahead and type in a 4-digit PIN code, like let's say 8652. And hit Submit Changes. Now what this will do is that anytime somebody wants to make an international call, they'll dial the number and then be prompted to enter in this PIN code. And this PIN code in this example will be 8652. Okay, so let's go ahead now and apply these settings here. Continue with reload. And now all of our outbound calls settings have been established. So at this point, your Trixbox server could start making outgoing calls. So now let's move towards incoming calls. Now there actually are no incoming settings on the Trixbox server with ThinkBright. The reason for this is that ThinkBright takes your phone numbers and actually sends it directly to your Trixbox IP address. So the only thing you may have to change is a setting under General Settings, also located under the Setup tab. And this setting is called Allow Anonymous Inbound SIP Calls. We want to change this to Yes. So change that to Yes and hit Submit. And now you can go ahead and proceed to your inbound routes. Now, under inbound routes, this is where you're going to enter in the phone numbers that you either ported into ThinkBright or you got from ThinkBright. So let's say one of these numbers is 212-123-1234. So we just add that number under the DID number field, and then we go ahead and choose the destination, and we're going to send it to, let's say, my extension over here at extension 200, and hit submit. Apply the changes. And now calls on 212, 123, 1234 are going to come into my extension. And that's literally all you have to do. So whether that number was going to be sent to an auto attendant, a waiting room, a ring group, a time condition, whatever that may be, it's now in your control and you can send it wherever you like. Thank you for watching. This has been another video tutorial brought to you by ThinkBright.